How do we change the White House? How do we change Congress? How do we change the Supreme Court? How do we get involved and do that? And I say we don't. I say we don't. We will, but we don't yet. Until first, we change towns and we change. What gives you results is when people, number one, are informed, and number two, take action and make actual changes. So there's this whole thing that happened in Iowa City, and you guys should be extremely proud. You should be extremely proud. Drones, red light cameras, license plate recognition technology. I had a conversation in the hallway a few minutes ago about how do we do this in other places? And my thing is, the only way it happens is for you to teach other cities how to do the same thing. Now, their system of government may be a little bit different, their city charters may be different, but those things need to be amended then. What you all have done in Iowa City is a huge victory for liberty. You didn't flip the White House. You didn't change the makeup of Congress. The Senate is not running better now, but Iowa City is running better now. And that is where engagement happens. See, we have this theory, this idea that we have to have change on a massive level in order for it to really count for something. So people will get all excited about the Ron Paul campaign, and they'll give millions upon millions of dollars to that campaign because we're going to see something different. We're going to see a real president who stands up for rule of law and the Constitution, and then he doesn't even win the primary. Well, I guess we could argue that. We might be able to argue that, but he didn't get to go in that spot. And then all of a sudden, people are deflated and sad. I guess nothing's ever going to change for us. No, it changes when you decide to change it. But I'll tell you this, friend, if you believe it only changes from the top down, you got it all backwards. It changes from the bottom up. The reason we call it grassroots is it's grassroots. Grassroots is the most overused and misused term in political terminology, isn't it? Everyone's grassroots, and nobody's grassroots. This is grassroots. What happened in Iowa City is grassroots. We're going to fix red light cameras. We're going to fix drones, not all over the country. We're not going to get a federal ban on drones. We're going to fix it above my house. That's the idea. That's how it's done. UN's Agenda 21. I love Agenda 21. This is something you might not know about me. I really do. I love it. I think that Agenda 21 is one of the best things that's ever happened to this country. Because what the progressives have done and the globalists have done through Agenda 21 is give us a blueprint for how liberty will rise. They have given us a blueprint. You ever heard of ICLEI? ICLEI is the local government for sustainability group. It's a non-government organization. It works with local governments, though, to implement the United Nations blueprint for sustainable living, Agenda 21. They know exactly what they're doing. How brilliant to not try to take Agenda 21 through a federal level or even a state level, but just go around to individual cities and say, we're going to work with you for smart growth and smart development. Bypass all that big stuff. 1,100 cities worldwide are members of ICLEI right now. That number is actually down. Because the more people have learned about Agenda 21, the more that are actually getting out of it now. But I want you to see this. This was actually written a number of years ago. It's by Gary Lawrence. He is a Seattle planner. He was an advisor to the Clinton-Gore Council on Sustainable Development. He said, he said, in some cases, LA 21, local Agenda 21, is seen as an attack on the power of the nation state. So we call our process something else, such as comprehensive planning, growth management, or smart growth. We combat globalism and the removal of civil liberty and freedom by being wise. Don't rewrite the playbook. Go grab the other guy's playbook and run his plays against him. That's what we need to be doing. Agenda 21 was being implemented in a very successful way, just as Common Core is being implemented in a very successful way right now. But it's not done on a huge level. It's done through local levels. Same way that liberty will rise. To take the same approach. How do we deal with local law enforcement when it comes to policing for profits? When it comes to red light cameras and speed cameras? We do it by tackling them one community at a time. And when you've done it in yours, you teach the next one over. This is how you do the same thing. This is the biggest headache you will give any globalist anywhere. Just a couple of things to watch out for. Educate people. Combat these issues. Smart growth, smart code, sustainability, smart meters, sustainable development. Even as you're recording this right now, sir, I'm going to get in a lot of trouble for saying this. That man hates smart things. That's what they'll say. That's what they'll say. Because another thing that Agenda 21 and the UN and globalists have done a very good job of is messaging and branding. Messaging and branding.
Until they believe it.
That's right. It's absolutely right. And control the language. Joel and I talked about this today. Change the language until freedom is slavery. So, until stupid becomes smart, and until smart actually means oppression and control, right? And so we have to be careful with languaging and how we talk about things. Part of what we want to do in our engagement process is create language and work, not all coming from me. Okay, everything I'm telling you, these are crowdsourced efforts to create strong language that we're able to use that will appeal to people in a way that, again, allows them to move forward. We want to engage student groups. We want to engage journalists and wake them up, business owners and entrepreneurs, Tea Party groups, Occupy groups, independent voters.